Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily and I'm a self-employed mama of 4. My husband and I are on a journey to become debt-free using a zero-based budget and the cash stuffing method because our biggest goal is to invest wisely and give generously. So if you're interested in learning more, stay tuned. Okay, so I'm really excited about today's video. It's a cash unstuffing slash weekly check-in slash I'm basically tracking my online spending. So I'm gonna show you my process from start to finish, and then I'm also going to be doing a Q&A. So I had posted on my Instagram asking people to ask questions about anything they wanted to. And so I'm gonna be answering those questions during this video. I'm gonna borrow money out of my $1 savings challenge here so that I can use it to swap out bills if I need to. And so I'm just gonna get that set up real quick. I'm not gonna like count it because it really doesn't matter. Oh, I think I have like $95 or $100 in here, something like that. So, okay, and then a bunch of ones, which is good because we're gonna need ones. Okay, hopefully that all works out. So I'm gonna jump into my A5 binder here and go to, okay, so this is March and we have quite a few transactions. I'm a little bit behind with my online spending check-ins. And so we're just gonna kind of dive right into it. I'm gonna set this to the side just a little bit. Hopefully you guys can still see it. And I'm also going to be answering questions during this video too. So I have those pulled up. And the first question is, would you go over your debt payoff journey and how you budget slash pay it off? Yes. Okay, so I will absolutely do that. That's actually one of the videos that I'm planning on making. Once I'm all caught up with orders, I'm going to be taking some time to film some videos for this channel and making that a priority before I do my restock. So I'm really excited about that. So yes, I will absolutely do that. So first things first, I'm gonna look at my categories here. So looks like I have 2 things for kids. So I'm gonna knock those out right away. And those are gonna be in my low priority sinking funds. And these are just like fun things for the kids. And I do need to grab my calculator, which I do have just set aside right here. So I'm just gonna set that right here. So I have $10 and then I have, oh, $10. So $20 is what we need to grab out of kids. So crayon molds, we don't have enough. You know what? I have some kids money in my wallet. So I'm gonna grab that out of here too so that we can make sure that gets paid back. So I'm just gonna grab 5. And then I think I have $3 left in my wallet, which will be plenty until I do my next cash stuffing. So crayon molds, my 4-year-old Rowan had a Valentine's Day party at her school. It's a really ugly one. And she got some, like, you basically melt crayons, put them in a mold, and then, I don't know how you do it. I need to like look it up, but I bought the crayon molds off Amazon because she said she wanted to do that. We have not gotten around to it yet. Kids. And I didn't really do a good job of explaining for anyone who's new. If this is your first online spending check-in video you're watching, basically I'm pulling cash out of my sinking funds that I did shopping online, and I track that using my EveryDollar app. And as I'm categorizing all of my transactions in the app, because it's linked to my bank account, if it's something that I need to pull out of sinking funds, I write it down on this tracking sheet, and then I go through and unstuff the money out of here, and then this is the money that will go back to the bank. So to replenish that. And we do keep a buffer in there. I don't use credit cards. So we do keep a buffer in there for online spending because I'm a busy mom and I do a lot of online spending, okay? Okay, so let's do our next question. Our next question is, just curious what your monthly budget is. I'm a new follower, so forgive me if you've already said. That is an excellent question. So my husband, I kind of talked about this in my cash stuffing video that I just filmed, but it's not posted yet because that one's not scheduled till Sunday. So you're going to hear it twice. But basically, my husband has always been really private about our finances. And it's just kind of how he grew up and how he was raised. It's just money wasn't something he ever talked about. And so when I came to him and I was like, hey, I'm going to start a YouTube channel because I want to hold myself accountable for cash stuffing. He was like, I'm totally on board. Just like, you know, keep our income private and like some of our stuff private. Like the world doesn't need to know everything. And I respect that. Like he's my husband and I totally respect that. So, I don't know, maybe someday he'll change his mind and I don't care. Like I would totally share that. Like it's whatever. Like we work really freaking hard all the time. Like we work so hard because we have such big goals. And so, you know, we're self-employed though. So some months are really big, high income months and some months are not high income months. And that's why, you know, I started cash stuffing in the first place was I wanted to have this like safety net to fall back on the months that we don't make as much money as we're used to. So, so yeah, that's kind of how I do it. But I make my zero-based budget like anyone else. I start with my income. I take out my bills and then I budget for sinking funds and then debt. So we're not really doing a ton of saving right now. The only saving I'm doing is these savings challenges right here. So like my $1 savings challenge, I have a $5, a $10, and then a $20 savings challenge. And those are that's like leftover cash from my wallet. So it's just, honestly, I'm doing it for fun because it helps me spend less. So yeah, I don't know. That doesn't really answer your question, but it does give an explanation as to why I don't share our family's budget to the world. Just out of respect for my husband. So next question is, what is your all-time dream besides debt-free? Okay, so I'm gonna go to my next, expense here. So next is birthday, and it looks like I have 2 for birthday as well. So I have a $13 transaction for birthday, and that was for little goodie bags that Liam brought to his 2nd grade class on his birthday. And then $71 was for his birthday party with our family for food. So I need to take $84 out of birthday, which is in my holiday sinking funds. And I'm like racing to get this video done. Not really. I mean, my kids are gonna be home from school soon. So if there's like, at any point in this video, if there's like an awkward transition where it's like, I just couldn't edit it like well enough that you can totally tell there was a weird transition, it's because my kids got home and I had to like get them quiet before I could continue to film. So just to warn you, I don't know what's gonna happen, but yeah. So birthday parties, I need to take out 84. So our dream besides coming debt-free, well, our dream is attached to becoming debt-free, which is why it's so important to us. But the reason that we want to become debt-free is because, let's see here, I knew this was going to be hard. I picked a really hard like video, like the unstuffings are sometimes confusing to me for some reason. So like, let's do a Q&A during the hardest, like I need to concentrate, but I also want to talk. Okay, so I need to break this into, let's see here. So we have 50, 70. See, this is what I'm talking about. So, so we have 2 50s and I want to break this 50 up. So we're going to do 30, 35, 40, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. I don't know. I might condense that more. I just like need to get through this so I can continue to talk. Okay. So 50, 70, 80, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I can actually swap those 2 5s out for a 10. I'm going to swap this out too because it's gross. Okay. There we go. You know what? No, it's fine. I'm gonna do a condensing video anyway, so I really don't care that I have a ton of bills in here. Okay, so let's count this out just to make sure I have it correct. So we're depositing back into the bank 50, 70, 80, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I like to keep these a little bit in order so that, because I like to swap, I'll start swapping out of this too, just like for denominations. Okay. So the next birthday party is my husband's and that's not until May. So now I can cross these off. I'm just gonna put this back because it's hard for me to write when I've got all this stuff going on. Okay, so birthday parties and then birthday. I could have taken class bags out of miscellaneous too. I just chose to take it out of birthday parties since that's technically what it was for. Okay, so hygiene. We just have one, I think, yeah. Okay, so personal hygiene, we just have one that's in high priority. That's that shampoo I got off Amazon that my sister recommended because what I'm currently using is really expensive and I'm just trying to like cut back on whatever I can. I've just never found anything I love as much as my expensive shampoo, so I'm hoping I really like this stuff. Hair care, $17. So we'll swap this out for 2 5s. Okay, so I can do 10, 15, 16, 17. All right. So we got that one done. So our all-time dream. Okay, so our all-time dream, my husband and I have the same dream. Convenient, right? It's so nice. We've always vibed. So our dream is to move out into the country and have between 10 to 20 acres of land, build a modest rambler, exactly how we want it, and then have horses, and my husband really wants fainting goats, and just like free range chickens, and like I want a big garden, and yeah, that's like our ultimate dream. And we want to do it as fast as possible because we want our kids to enjoy that lifestyle too. So that's our ultimate dream. And then in the future, like also on our radar is, oh, baby needs is next, and I need to take 27 out of that one. So also on our radar is, okay, so we have a special needs kiddo. So Eli's 6, he's autistic, and I consider him pre-verbal at this point because he has started to say some words. And so but we just don't know what his life is gonna look like in the future. And when, what am I doing? Because I need 27. Oh, so I just needed to take 1 5. We don't know what the future is gonna look like for him because when autistic kiddos like get older, like as soon as they're adults, there's just not a lot of like supports for them. So we just don't know what that's gonna look like. So what we would like to do on this land is also build like a mother-in-law suite, I think is what it's called, where he can have his own place, but it's like on our property. So he can still have independence, but like we're nearby if he needs us. And who knows, I mean, maybe he'll live on his own and get married and drive a car and have a job. Like, maybe he'll go to college. I don't know what his life is going to look like, but we just want to plan ahead. And if that makes him more comfortable to live, because he also has like a developmental like delay, cognitive something, I don't remember. I don't know. They gave us a diagnosis and I kind of just like threw it in the garbage when we got home because Eli's Eli. But because of that, it's like, we don't know what it's going to look like. So that's also part of our dream, is to be able to, you know, have the ability to pay cash and build him like a mother-in-law suite so he can still live independently. So 20, 25, 26, 27 is what we're gonna take back to the bank. I'm just gonna set it back there. And so 27, that was for diapers for Bristol. Okay, so that one's done. I love that question. Thank you for asking that question. And then ultimately, like my all-time dream is just to like raise children that grow up to be like really great citizens of the community, like just good people. Okay, next question. How do you decide what to roll over in your wallet and what to remove for challenges? I love that question. So when I stuff and unstuff my wallet, there's some videos where I only unstuff or like stuff. Let me show you. I think like that'd be easier. So like when I unstuff my wallet, so let's say I'm going through and I always unstuff my personal spending because that's my money to do with what I want it. That's how we budgeted it. So I will always put my rollover spending at the end of the week into my savings challenges. Eating out, drinks, kids, nails, kindness, and miscellaneous. These are all envelopes where I also have duplicate envelopes in these binders. And so it's money that me and my husband share technically. So I will roll this stuff over like at the end of the month, But, you know, I don't want to like put that into the savings challenges. And then my husband's like, hey, I thought we had an extra 20 bucks budgeted for eating out and I don't see it anywhere. So just to avoid confusion. So that's kind of how I decide, but I don't know. We're really good about like being on the same page with finances, and that method has just always worked for us. But then at the end of the month, I do put everything in my wallet into our savings challenge because that's what it's there for. I just during the month, the envelopes where we share, I don't stuff that during the month. So hopefully that makes sense. That was a really good question. Next up here we have, okay, so Chris is spending money. He's gonna owe in, guys. He's gonna owe in because he went to the state hockey tournament and they don't take cash there. You can only pay with a debit card. So he had to pay with his debit card. So he owes his spending envelope $33. So I'm just gonna leave that one for now. Okay, so then memberships, I need to take out $6 because one of the kids is free time. I don't know, it's like $5.99 a year or something like that. This is not the right binder. Hello, Emily. One of, oh my God. Okay, so Liam's app renews in January or December, and then Rowan's renews in March. So I need to take that out of memberships. It's just $6. It's technically a subscription, but I include that. Where is it? Am I in the wrong binder? I don't think I'm in the wrong binder. No, there it is. So I need to take $6 out of here. That was an easy one. So that, I don't know exactly. It's something with, because they have like the Amazon kid tablets, you know, the same ones that every kid has. Okay, eating out is also in this envelope. I need to take 45 bucks out for that because we ordered pizza. Okay. Next question, what made you start budgeting and how long have you been doing it? So I need to take, let's see here. I just have one eating out, so 45. Okay, so 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45. So I'll take you way back. How about that? So 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45 for eating out. I'll take you way back. So my husband and I first really got into it because it was back in 2017. We went to Financial Peace University at our church and realized that we were in a lot of trouble. Just like we had a ton of debt. We were living paycheck to paycheck. I was a social worker making like no money, and it just was not good. So it actually might have been 2016. And so we really became aware then. I tried budgeting like many times and just never, I was always so discouraged doing it. Yeah, and it just kind of fizzled away. But we learned a lot. Okay, so that was good. Drinks, I do need to take $46 out because my brother-in-law had a birthday party and that was his birthday gift. So it could come out of gifts, but I'm just gonna take it out of drinks because we have plenty in here. Okay, so I need to break this up into 6. So I have 6, I should say. All right, so this is going in there, and then this I need to make change for. So 10, 15, I have like 2 separate piles here that I'm swapping from, so I just need to make sure I'm doing it correctly here. Because I needed 5 ones. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so 46. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that is 5. I was like, why does that look like $6? So 46, and then this will go back into our drinks envelope. Hopefully that made sense what I did there. This is my back to the bank pile, and this is my dollar savings challenge, and so I don't, okay. I also feel like I might have put some money in here that I wasn't supposed to, but I'll know at the end because I'm gonna add this together and compare it to this. And so whatever I have extra in here, I'll know goes back into here, because this is definitely, I had way more saved than that. So I think I accidentally put a 50 in that pile. Well, we'll figure it out. So anyway, it wasn't until, so we always kind of worked the plan, right? Like I did have a budget. We did the EveryDollar app. It was fine. I made a budget every month, probably starting in like 2018, because that's when we had Rowan. And I started making a budget every month, and we followed it, and we got a bunch of debt paid off. But something just always felt off. I never felt like I was fully in control. Things always snuck up on us. Like it was always like checking the bank account to be like, okay, did this go through? Did this not go through? And it just was a lot. And so my husband quit his job. So he's in construction. So he quit his job in September to fully pursue his own company, which he's had for over a year. He just wanted to like put everything he had into it. He just wanted to work for himself, which I think is super cool. So when that happened, away went our health insurance, away went like any sense of like security and stability, because he was no longer getting like a constant like paycheck. And that really scared me, just because I felt so out of control with our finances. And so that's when the cash stuffing thing happened. And I just started like really getting into cash stuffing kind of in September. And then November was when I decided to start my channel, because I could feel myself like, I don't know, just like I wanted something to hold me accountable. I felt like I just needed that. Like I didn't want it to fizzle away. And so that's why I started my YouTube channel. And then, I mean, the rest is like, I don't even know. Like sometimes I look up and I'm just like, what happened in the last 4 months, 5 months? Like, it's just crazy. And how much I love cash stuffing, that's why I love counting the cash every week, because if I'm ever like starting to freak out for some reason, I'll just count the cash. It's fine. So yeah, that's how we got into it. I've been like hardcore, no excuses, week after week after week cash stuffing since November, but I've been budgeting for a lot longer than that. Cash stuffing just gave me like that peace of mind. And I get a lot of comments that I have a lot of envelopes, and I do have a lot of envelopes. That's very true, but it's because I want to know like every little thing is accounted for, because when you're self-employed, like if you don't work, you don't get paid. Kind of like a 9 to 5. Like if you don't work, you don't get paid. So I just like knowing like, okay, the drinks envelope is empty. So we don't get to buy drinks anymore this month. And we've both been really good, like diligent about that. And that goes for any of our envelopes. So great question. Okay, the rest are in our high priority. We have 2 left. So let's see if we can get through another question. Okay, so the next question, advice for stuffing/saving and debt snowball at the same time. Feels like I should snowball all extra money. So there's a lot of different opinions about this. You're here hanging out with me, so I'm gonna give you my opinion. And you know, that's the thing about budgeting, like you gotta do what works for you, okay? Here's what I do. The reason that I don't do a lot of savings challenges is that exactly. So we are doing the debt snowball right now, and I start with our income when I'm doing my zero-based budget every month. I start with our income. And so our income is whatever we made the month prior, because we're self-employed. So I start with our income, and then I take out all of our bills and like what we have to pay in for insurance and the tuition for the kids and all of that like automated stuff. So I take all of that out, and those are more of like our fixed expenses. And then with our variable expenses, that's stuff like, that's what I cash stuff, is our variable expenses. And so I do that. And then whatever we have left over goes to debt. Like if you follow Dave Ramsey's baby steps, baby step number 1 is you save $1,000 emergency fund. We have more than that, which I don't know how Dave Ramsey would feel about that. I've always thought about calling into his radio show and asking. The reason we have a lot more than that is because we're self-employed, and I just feel like we need that cushion. Like I feel like Dave Ramsey would be okay with that. So we do have more than 1,000 in our savings, but it's only because we're both self-employed. If my husband was not self-employed, like back when he had his like 9 to 5 job, we had $1,000 in our savings, and everything extra went to our debt. When he decided to be self-employed and like fully, like we're both doing our thing, that's when I was like, I think we should beef up this emergency fund just a little bit because it felt like the smart thing to do. So $1,000 emergency fund. Baby step 2 is to pay off all your debt using the snowball method. And that's the step we're on right now. And so all of our extra money goes to paying off debt. I always like question myself because, you know, we set money aside for eating out, not much, but some. We set some aside for drinks and for like travel and things like that. The travel that I save for is more like business travel, or like extra gas if we decide to go visit my mom who lives further away, or, you know, just like driving somewhere that we normally don't. So some of that money should technically go into my snowball. I'm not gonna lie, okay? Like, I don't follow it exactly, which is probably why we're not moving as fast as we should. But yeah, so I don't know if that helps or not. I would start with $1,000 in your savings account and just get that as fast as you can. If you have to get another job or do like a side hustle or whatever, like get that 1,000, and then everything extra after that goes to pay off debt. I've had a lot of opinions about this too in the comments, which I love. You guys, I love when you like leave me your opinion. I love it. My savings challenges in here that I save for, like my rollover money, this is going to pay off debt. Okay. It's just fun to save it and accumulate it, but it is going to go to pay off debt. So, I hope that helps. Definitely look up Dave Ramsey if you're like more curious about his baby steps. Baby step 3 is to save 3 to 6 months of expenses. And so when we get to that step, we will be like going hardcore, like hardcore saving challenges. It's going to be such a fun time. Okay. So then the last question, and I'm going to finish up these last 2 transactions. Do you have criteria you use to pick high/low priority sinking funds, categories, or how to use? So yes, this is the perfect question for the binder I'm in. So I'm in high priority right now. High priority are things that we need to survive or keep our household flowing, like moving. I got an espresso pods and I just was like, I'm going to take it out of our grocery cash because it was kind of something extra I didn't really need. And this cash doesn't get used super often. So 20, 25, 30, 35. So it was $35 for my Nespresso pods, which I haven't gotten in like 3 months. And I'm like, I could really use a good latte. So I'd rather make it at home. So groceries, clothing, household, this is like toilet paper, paper towels, cleaning supplies, anything we might need for our house, vehicle maintenance, co-pays, personal hygiene, baby needs, pet care, Sam's Club, and then miscellaneous for things I forget to budget for. So these are all things that we need to like live our life. I need to keep this open because I got households, but like low priority are things that we could live without. So technically I could pull most of this cash and put it towards debt. So eating out, drinks, our spending money, home renovations, kids, family fun. Hockey could be debatable. Hockey could really go into high priority, but it's technically not something we need to like survive. It's more of like, it's a sport, you know. Gifts, me getting my nails done. Don't need to have my nails done to survive. Well, I would argue with that, but my husband wouldn't. Date night, Target, organizing. Memberships is maybe something I could put in high priority. But the rest of these are all things that they're just lower priority than the things we need to survive. So that's kind of how I categorize those things, but everybody's budget is different. So you just get to decide what is high priority to you. What are your values? And that's what you can base that off of. So I need to pull 17 out of household. Stop it. Okay, I have exactly 17 right there. Hey, and we got rid of the couple ones. Whoop, whoop. Well, that worked out nicely. I feel like every time I do one and it's like the last one, it's super easy. And that's after I've brought, you know, dragged you guys along for how long? Like me trying to do math. What a joke. Me trying to do math. Okay, so I'm gonna mark off these last 2 here. And then we're all caught up with the exception of my husband's spending money, which is totally okay. I might even be nice. And if I have leftover spending money, put that back into our bank account because he's been working really hard lately and he's got a really big test coming up for a license that he needs for his company. So you guys say a little prayer for Chris. Okay, so let's add up all the ones that I did today. So we had $10. All right, so I got $297 if I did that correctly. So let's count the cash and see how much we have. I'm just trying to get these all in order again so I can count these in a way that is not ridiculous. It's just a lot of ones. And what I'm gonna do too is, before I take stuff to the bank, I always like pick out all the ugly bills just to give back to the bank. They can have them back, right? Give them all back to the bank. And then I'll kind of like switch around my denominations a little bit so that my cash makes sense for next time when I do my unstuffing, just to make my life easier. You don't have to do that step, but I find it's easier because I like to have quite a few denominations here in case they need them for anything. And then I'm also depositing fewer bills at the banks. 50, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So 250, 255, 260, 65, 70, 75, 80, 90, 95, 300, 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. 27. So $30 is, yeah, right? $30. I'm just like trying to do math here. I think that's right. So let's count. So 50, 20, 30, oh my God. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 96, 97. So what I need to put back in my savings challenge is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 5. Okay. That seems more correct now. So that's why I make sure that I'm like adding everything up correctly, because I must have just accidentally put that money in my back to the bank pile, which happens, no biggie. All right, so let's count this one more time just to make sure. Is this what you guys look like? Like, I don't know, I broadcast this to the world and people see me like on the struggle bus. Like, please tell me that this is what it's like for you too. 50, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 200, 10, 20, 30, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 297. And I'm also, so I'll mess with the denominations later, but this money is what's gonna go back to the bank to pay our buffer back for our online spending. And I had a lot of fun with this Q&A. If it wasn't like too painful for you guys to listen to me and want me to keep doing Q&As as I do my unstuffings, I can totally do that. Or if you would rather me just explain the process as I go more clearly, I can do that too. But I'm so glad you guys hung out with me today, and I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in my next one.